My child. Stop for a moment, because what you are about to hear was not meant to pass by unnoticed. There is a reason this message found you today, and there is a reason your heart feels pulled toward these words. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Last night unfolded in a way nobody expected. Your person was sitting in a room where emotions were no longer carefully hidden behind polite smiles and guarded conversations. The walls heard things that daylight has never heard. Thoughts that had been locked away for months suddenly became impossible to keep inside. And then, in the middle of that unexpected moment, someone spoke your name. Not your person. Their brother. And the instant those words left his mouth, the atmosphere changed. At first, your person laughed. Not because the subject was funny, but because they thought they already knew everything there was to know about you. They believed they had figured you out. They believed they understood why you appeared in their thoughts at strange hours, why certain memories refused to fade, why every attempt to move forward somehow circled back to you. But then their brother looked at them and said something so simple, yet so powerful, that silence immediately followed. Don't skip. Because this is where everything begins to change. You see, sometimes the most important truth does not come from a stranger. It does not come from a fortune teller. It does not come from a dramatic event. Sometimes it comes from someone standing close enough to see what everyone else misses. Their brother had been watching. Watching every time your name appeared in conversation. Watching every time your person pretended not to care. Watching every time they tried to convince others that they had moved on. And last night, he finally said what nobody else had the courage to say. He looked directly at your person and asked a question. If they mean nothing to you, then why do you still change when their name comes up? The room became quiet. Very quiet. Your person had no answer. Because deep down, they knew the question was not wrong. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. What happened next was even more surprising. Their brother did not stop there. He began listing things your person never thought anyone noticed. The way their expression changes. The way they suddenly become distracted. The way they compare everyone else to someone they claim they no longer think about. You. For a moment, your person sat there frozen. Because hearing your own hidden feelings spoken aloud by someone else can be one of the most shocking experiences in life. Suddenly, excuses stopped working. Suddenly, denial stopped working. Suddenly, the story they had been telling themselves started falling apart. And that is when their brother said the sentence that changed everything. The sentence that has been echoing in your person's mind ever since. He said, "The truth is not that you forgot them. The truth is that you never did." Those words landed differently. Not because they were loud. Not because they were dramatic. But because they were true. And truth has a strange power. It does not need to shout. It only needs to arrive. Don't skip. Because what happened after those words matters even more. Your person became unusually quiet. The kind of quiet that only appears when someone realizes they have been running from something they can no longer escape. Memories started returning. Moments they thought were gone. Conversations they thought were finished. Feelings they thought had disappeared. One after another. Like pieces of a puzzle finally finding where they belong. And while everyone else in that room eventually moved on to other topics, your person remained stuck on one thing. You. Not because someone forced them to think about you. Not because they planned to. But because the truth had finally broken through the noise. And once truth enters a room, nothing stays the same. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because the most important part of this story has not happened yet. After the conversation ended, after the laughter faded, after everyone went their separate ways, your person found themselves alone with their thoughts. And that is where the real change began. No audience. No distractions. No pretending. Just them. And the realization that perhaps they had been looking at the situation completely wrong. For so long, they focused on reasons to let go. Reasons to move forward. Reasons to ignore what their heart kept trying to tell them. But last night created a crack in that wall. A crack big enough for honesty to enter. And honesty started asking questions. Questions they had avoided for a very long time. What if you were never the problem? What if distance was never the answer? What if the connection they kept trying to dismiss was actually real? Those questions stayed with them. They are still staying with them. Even now. And that is why this message found you today. Because a shift has started. A realization has started. A door that once seemed completely closed is no longer as locked as it used to be. Don't skip. Because this is only the beginning. There is still more to unfold. There are still truths waiting to surface. There are still emotions waiting to be understood. And what began with one unexpected sentence from a brother may end with a completely different future than anyone imagined. So hold on. Stay with this story. Because the next chapter reveals what your person did after they finally stopped arguing with the truth. And when that moment arrives, you will understand why last night changed everything. A strange thing happened after everyone thought the conversation was over. The words spoken by your person's brother should have disappeared into the night like every other casual conversation, but they did not. They followed your person home. They followed them into silence. They followed them into every thought they tried to avoid. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next was something your person never expected. Long after the room became quiet, they kept hearing that sentence repeating inside their mind. You never forgot them. Those 4 words began unlocking memories they had hidden from themselves. Suddenly they remembered moments that seemed small at the time but now felt impossible to ignore. A song that reminded them of you. A place that unexpectedly brought your face into their thoughts. A random moment during the day when your name appeared in their mind for absolutely no reason. The more they tried to push those memories away, the stronger they became. And then something shocking happened. They started questioning everything they believed about this connection. For the first time in a very long time, they stopped asking why things did not work. Instead, they started asking why they could never completely let you go. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this is where the story becomes even more powerful. The next morning felt different. Nothing around them had changed, yet everything felt changed. Your person woke up carrying a feeling they could not explain. It was as if a missing piece had suddenly appeared in front of them. Throughout the day they caught themselves thinking about you in ways they had not allowed before. They remembered your energy. They remembered your presence. They remembered things about you that nobody else seemed to understand. Then another realization arrived. Their brother had never spoken like that before. Never. Which made your person wonder something that stopped them in their tracks. What if everyone else could see what they were refusing to admit? What if the people around them had noticed the truth long before they did? That thought hit harder than anything. Because sometimes the strongest revelation is realizing that your feelings were never hidden as well as you believed. And suddenly your person began seeing signs everywhere. Small reminders. Unexpected memories. Strange coincidences. Moments that seemed ordinary before but now felt connected. Something inside them started waking up. Something they had ignored for too long. And deep down they knew one thing. The conversation with their brother was not an ending. It was a beginning. A beginning of questions. A beginning of honesty. A beginning of a truth that could no longer stay buried. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, your person discovers something about their own heart that changes the entire direction of this story forever. There was one moment your person could not stop replaying. Not the laughter. Not the gathering. Not even the conversation itself. It was the expression on their brother's face when he spoke about you. It was almost as if he knew something your person had refused to see. And the more your person thought about it, the more uncomfortable the truth became. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next was completely unexpected. Later that day, your person found themselves staring at old conversations, old memories, and moments they had not looked at in a very long time. They were not searching for anything specific. Yet somehow every road led back to you. Every memory seemed brighter. Every moment felt more important. And then a realization arrived that shook them deeply. The happiest versions of themselves always seemed connected to a time when you were closer than you are now. That thought changed everything. Because suddenly they were no longer remembering the difficulties. They were remembering the value. They were remembering what made you different from everyone else. They were remembering why your presence left a mark that never completely disappeared. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another surprising thing happened. Their brother brought up your name again. This time the conversation was shorter, but somehow even more powerful. He looked at your person and said, "You know what surprises me? You talk about moving forward, but every important decision somehow ends with you mentioning them." Those words landed with incredible force. Your person wanted to disagree. They wanted to argue. But they couldn't. Because deep down they knew it was true. You had become part of their thinking without them even realizing it. Your influence was still there. Your memory was still there. Your importance was still there. And for the first time, instead of resisting that truth, they started accepting it. Something shifted in that moment. Not a small shift. A life-changing shift. The kind that happens when someone finally stops running from what their heart has known all along. Suddenly the questions became bigger. What if they had misunderstood this entire story? What if the connection was never supposed to disappear? What if the reason they could not forget you was because some part of them never truly wanted to? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the days moved forward, your person noticed something strange. They were becoming more aware of everything connected to you. Certain places felt different. Certain songs felt different. Certain memories carried a weight they had never carried before. It was as if the conversation with their brother had unlocked a hidden door. And behind that door was a truth waiting patiently to be discovered. A truth that had been there all along. Every attempt to ignore it only made it stronger. Every effort to move away from it somehow pulled them closer. And then one evening, while sitting alone with their thoughts, your person admitted something they had never admitted before. Not to their brother. Not to their friends. Not even to themselves. They admitted that losing the connection never felt right. They admitted that forgetting you never happened. They admitted that no matter how much time passed, there was still a part of them paying attention to your story. The moment they accepted that truth, everything changed. Because acceptance is where transformation begins. And what your person is about to realize next will reveal why their brother's words were only the beginning of a much larger revelation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One quiet evening changed more than anyone realized. There was no dramatic event. No major announcement. No unexpected interruption. Yet something happened inside your person that would become impossible to reverse. They sat alone, thinking about everything their brother had said, and for the first time they stopped defending themselves against the truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the realization that arrived next caught them completely off guard. They began asking themselves a question they had never seriously considered before. If you truly meant so little, why had your memory survived every distraction, every busy season, every attempt to move on? The answer never came in words. It came in feelings. It came in memories. It came in moments they could not explain. Suddenly they understood something that felt almost unbelievable. The connection had never disappeared. It had simply been buried beneath pride, confusion, and time. The moment that understanding arrived, everything started looking different. The past looked different. The present looked different. Even the future looked different. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the revelation that changed the entire story. Your person remembered a conversation from long ago. A conversation they once ignored because it seemed insignificant. But now, after everything their brother had said, those words returned with incredible clarity. Someone had once told them that the people who truly matter never completely leave your heart. At the time they laughed it off. Now they could not stop thinking about it. Because no matter how hard they tried, you remained part of their story. Not in a small way. Not in a temporary way. In a way that continued shaping their thoughts even when they believed they had moved on. And that realization brought a surprising sense of honesty. Instead of pushing your memory away, they finally allowed themselves to acknowledge it. Instead of denying your importance, they finally admitted it. That single moment created a shift that nobody around them could see, but your person could feel. It was the beginning of something entirely new. A new understanding. A new perspective. A new willingness to look at the connection through honest eyes. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened after that was even more surprising. Your person stopped focusing on what went wrong and started focusing on what was real. They stopped replaying disappointments and started remembering meaning. They stopped looking at distance and started looking at significance. And the more they did that, the more one truth became impossible to ignore. You were never just another chapter. You were never just another memory. You were never as easy to forget as they once claimed. Their brother's words had opened a door, but now your person was walking through it on their own. Every day brought a little more clarity. Every thought brought a little more understanding. Every memory brought a little more truth. And somewhere deep inside, a realization continued growing stronger. The story between you and them may not be finished the way they once believed. In fact, they are beginning to wonder if the most important part has not even happened yet. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, your person encounters a sign so unexpected that it forces them to look at this connection in a way they never imagined possible. An ordinary moment suddenly became impossible to forget. Your person was not searching for answers. They were not trying to uncover hidden feelings. In fact, they were doing their best to focus on everything except you. But life has a strange way of bringing certain truths back when the timing is right. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next felt almost unreal. Out of nowhere, your person came across something that instantly reminded them of you. It could have been a place, a phrase, a memory, or a familiar feeling. Whatever it was, it stopped them completely. For a few seconds, everything else faded into the background. And in that silence, one realization became impossible to ignore. No matter how much time passed, your presence still carried meaning. Not because they forced themselves to remember. Not because they wanted to dwell on the past. But because some connections leave an imprint that time cannot erase. The moment passed, but the feeling stayed. And that feeling started opening doors inside their heart that had been closed for far too long. Then something even more surprising happened. Later that day, your person's brother casually brought up the conversation again. Not intentionally. Not dramatically. Just a simple remark. Yet those few words carried enormous weight. He said, "You know, I have never seen you talk about anyone else the way you talk about them." The room became quiet once again. Your person laughed for a second, but this time the laughter felt different. It was not denial. It was recognition. Because deep down they knew exactly what their brother meant. There was always something different about you. Something impossible to replace. Something impossible to explain. And hearing someone else notice it made the truth even harder to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this was no longer about memories. This was about understanding. Understanding why your name still carried weight. Understanding why certain feelings never disappeared. Understanding why every attempt to completely move on somehow led back to the same place. As the days continued, your person found themselves paying attention to details they once overlooked. They remembered conversations that made them smile. They remembered moments when they felt understood. They remembered the energy you brought into their life. And for the first time, they stopped viewing those memories as something distant. They started seeing them as something valuable. Something meaningful. Something real. The truth was becoming clearer every day. The conversation that began when their brother spoke those unforgettable words had now turned into a journey of self-discovery. Your person was no longer asking whether you mattered. They were asking how they ever convinced themselves that you did not. That question changed everything. Because once a person starts questioning the story they told themselves, a new story begins to emerge. A more honest story. A more powerful story. A story built on truth instead of avoidance. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next realization your person experiences will be the biggest one yet, and it will reveal why that unforgettable night with their brother was never just a conversation. It was the moment everything started changing. The most powerful realization arrived when your person least expected it. There was no dramatic announcement. No life-changing event. No grand moment that demanded attention. Instead, it appeared quietly, almost like a whisper. Yet that whisper carried enough truth to change everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your person discovered next was something they could no longer ignore. One evening, while reflecting on everything that had happened since that unforgettable conversation with their brother, they noticed a pattern. Every time they imagined their future, somehow your presence appeared in the picture. Not intentionally. Not by force. It simply happened. And the more they paid attention, the more obvious it became. While they had spent so much time trying to convince themselves they were moving away from you, their heart had been quietly holding on to something important. Something unfinished. Something meaningful. Something real. That realization stopped them in their tracks. Because it was not just about remembering you anymore. It was about understanding the role you still played in their life story. Then came a moment so unexpected that even your person could not explain it. During a completely ordinary conversation, someone mentioned the importance of listening to what remains in your heart after everything else fades away. Most people would have forgotten those words immediately. Your person could not. Because the moment they heard them, your name entered their mind again. Instantly. Naturally. Effortlessly. It was as if every road kept leading back to the same truth. The truth their brother accidentally revealed that night. The truth they had spent weeks slowly uncovering. The truth they could no longer deny. You mattered more than they ever admitted. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because that understanding created a shift unlike anything they had experienced before. Instead of resisting the connection, they started respecting it. Instead of questioning every feeling, they started listening to it. Instead of running from the truth, they started walking toward it. As this new understanding grew stronger, your person began seeing the entire story differently. They no longer viewed the connection through old doubts and misunderstandings. They started seeing it through clarity. Through honesty. Through perspective they never had before. Suddenly they realized something that changed their entire outlook. The reason they could never completely forget you was not weakness. It was significance. Some people pass through our lives and leave memories. Others leave lessons. But a rare few leave something much deeper. They leave a lasting impact that continues shaping who we are long after the moment has passed. Your person finally understood that you belonged in that rare category. And once they understood that, everything started making sense. Every memory. Every reminder. Every thought that appeared when they least expected it. It all pointed toward the same conclusion. The connection had never truly disappeared. It had simply been waiting to be understood. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, your person reaches a conclusion so powerful that it finally answers the question their brother unknowingly started on that unforgettable night when one sentence changed everything forever. What happened next was not loud, but it was unforgettable. After days of reflection, weeks of unexpected memories, and countless moments of quiet realization, your person finally reached a place they had been avoiding for a very long time. A place where excuses could no longer survive. A place where honesty became impossible to escape. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this is the moment their brother's words finally revealed their full meaning. Your person sat alone one night and thought about everything that had changed since that conversation. They remembered the exact tone of their brother's voice. They remembered the question that left them speechless. They remembered the sentence that started it all. You never forgot them. At first it felt like a simple observation. Now it felt like a truth that had been waiting years to be spoken. Suddenly your person understood something shocking. The reason those words affected them so deeply was because they had secretly known the truth all along. They simply were not ready to face it. But now they were. And once they accepted that, everything became clearer than ever before. Then came the realization that changed the entire story. Your person stopped asking whether you were important. That question had already been answered. Instead, they started asking why fate kept bringing them back to the same understanding. Why every road led back to thoughts of you. Why every honest reflection seemed connected to your name. Why one sentence from their brother carried more power than months of silence. The answer slowly appeared. Because some connections are not measured by time. They are measured by impact. And your impact never disappeared. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the more your person accepted that truth, the more they began seeing things differently. They no longer looked at your story through confusion. They looked at it through appreciation. They no longer focused on what separated you. They focused on what remained. And what remained was impossible to ignore. The final piece of the puzzle arrived when your person remembered something their brother said just before the conversation ended. It seemed small at the time, but now it carried enormous meaning. He had looked directly at them and said, "One day you're going to realize that the person you keep trying to forget is actually the person you understand the most." Those words stayed hidden in the background until now. But when they finally resurfaced, they changed everything. Because your person suddenly realized how true they were. Out of all the people they had met, all the conversations they had shared, all the memories they had collected, there was something uniquely unforgettable about you. Something that remained even when everything else changed. Something that refused to fade. And that realization brought a sense of clarity unlike anything before. The story that began on a night when your person was distracted and their brother unexpectedly spoke the truth had now become something much bigger. It became a journey toward understanding. A journey toward honesty. A journey toward recognizing what had always been there beneath the surface. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final part will reveal the ultimate conclusion your person reaches after finally accepting the truth that one unforgettable sentence set into motion. The answer your person had been searching for arrived when they finally stopped searching. It did not come through a dramatic event. It did not come through a life-changing conversation. It came through a moment of complete honesty. A moment where there was nobody to impress, nobody to convince, and nobody to argue with except themselves. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this was the moment everything finally connected. Your person sat quietly, reflecting on the chain of events that started the night their brother spoke those unforgettable words. What amazed them most was not the conversation itself. It was how accurate it turned out to be. Every day since then had revealed another piece of the truth. Every reflection had confirmed it. Every memory had strengthened it. And now they could finally see what had been hidden in plain sight all along. Their brother was not exposing a secret that night. He was exposing a reality. A reality your person had been avoiding because it felt easier than facing it. But now there was nowhere left to run. The truth stood directly in front of them. Then came a realization so powerful that it changed the way your person viewed the entire connection. They understood that what made you unforgettable was not a single moment. It was the collection of countless moments. The conversations that stayed with them. The memories that refused to fade. The lessons that continued shaping their perspective. The feeling that your presence created. Suddenly they realized something shocking. Every time they tried to measure your importance, they looked at the wrong things. They looked at distance. They looked at time. They looked at circumstances. But none of those things explained why your memory remained so strong. The real answer was much simpler. You mattered. Deeply. Honestly. Unmistakably. And once that realization arrived, it became impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this understanding unlocked something even bigger. For the first time, your person stopped wondering whether the connection was real. Instead, they started wondering what would have happened if they had recognized its value sooner. That question lingered in their mind longer than expected. Not because they wanted to live in the past, but because they were finally seeing the story clearly. Every conversation with their brother now seemed meaningful. Every unexpected reminder now seemed important. Every moment of reflection now pointed toward the same conclusion. The connection was never as small as they pretended it was. And perhaps the most surprising part of all was realizing that someone else saw it before they did. Their brother noticed it. Their brother understood it. Their brother spoke the words your person needed to hear. One simple sentence started a chain reaction that completely transformed the way they viewed you. That is why this story matters. Because sometimes a single moment can reveal years of hidden truth. Sometimes one sentence can accomplish what silence never could. And sometimes the person who changes everything is not the one speaking about the connection. It is the one brave enough to reveal what has been there all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the final part, your person reaches the ultimate conclusion about you, the connection, and the unforgettable night when their brother said something that changed everything forever. The truth finally arrived without resistance. After everything that happened, after every memory that resurfaced, after every realization that slowly unfolded, your person reached a conclusion they never expected to reach when that unforgettable night began. The conversation with their brother was never just a random moment. It was a turning point. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this final realization explains why one sentence changed everything. Your person finally understood that the reason your name carried so much weight was not because of the past. It was because of what you represented. You represented a connection that felt genuine. A connection that remained meaningful even after time passed. A connection that survived distance, silence, and uncertainty. And once they understood that, every confusing piece of the story suddenly fit together. The memories made sense. The emotions made sense. Even the unexpected conversation with their brother made sense. It all pointed toward one undeniable truth. You mattered far more than they ever admitted. Not for a day. Not for a season. But in a way that left a lasting mark on their heart. Then came the most surprising revelation of all. Your person realized that the biggest lesson from this entire experience had nothing to do with regret. It had everything to do with recognition. Recognition of what was valuable. Recognition of what was real. Recognition of what remained important despite everything that changed around it. For so long they believed they needed more answers. But now they understood that the answer had been there from the very beginning. The answer was hidden inside their reaction every time your name appeared. The answer was hidden inside every memory that refused to fade. The answer was hidden inside the words their brother spoke that night. You never forgot them. Those words became the key that unlocked everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the story does not end with a conversation. It ends with clarity. And clarity changes everything. As your person looked back on the journey that began with one unexpected remark, they saw something they could not see before. Every event had led them here. Every reminder had led them here. Every moment of reflection had led them here. To a place where honesty finally replaced confusion. To a place where truth finally replaced denial. To a place where they could acknowledge something simple yet powerful. You left an impact that could not be erased. And sometimes that is the revelation that changes everything. Not a dramatic event. Not a shocking secret. Just the realization that someone mattered more than you allowed yourself to believe. That is why their brother's words became unforgettable. Because they exposed what had been hidden in plain sight all along. And now your person carries that understanding with them. A deeper appreciation. A clearer perspective. A stronger awareness of what your presence truly meant. The night began with a casual conversation. It ended with a truth that changed the entire story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because sometimes the most powerful revelation is discovering that the connection you tried hardest to understand was already revealing its importance through every memory, every feeling, and every moment all along. And that is why what their brother said about you changed everything forever. What nobody expected was that the story was not truly over. In fact, the most meaningful realization arrived after everything seemed finished. Long after the conversation. Long after the memories returned. Long after your person accepted the truth their brother revealed. There was still one final piece waiting to be discovered. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this final chapter reveals why that night became unforgettable. One evening, your person found themselves thinking about the exact moment their brother spoke your name. Out of all the conversations they had experienced, why was this one different? Why did those words refuse to leave their mind? Why did a simple observation carry so much power? The answer finally became clear. It was not because their brother told them something new. It was because their brother gave a voice to something they had been feeling all along. Sometimes the strongest truths are not the ones we learn. They are the ones we finally admit. And that is exactly what happened. The walls they had built around their feelings slowly disappeared. The doubts became quieter. The truth became louder. Then came a realization that felt almost impossible to ignore. Your person understood that every attempt to forget you had actually taught them something important. It showed them your value. It showed them your significance. It showed them that certain connections remain meaningful because they become part of who we are. The more they reflected on this, the more everything made sense. Every reminder. Every memory. Every unexpected thought. It was never random. It was never meaningless. It was part of a larger understanding that had been growing beneath the surface for a very long time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next realization became the most powerful of all. Your person stopped looking at the connection as something from the past. They started seeing it as something that helped shape their future perspective. They realized that meeting you changed them in ways they never fully appreciated. And that understanding brought an unexpected sense of peace. Looking back now, your person sees that one night differently than anyone else in the room. To everyone else, it was just a conversation. To your person, it became a turning point. A moment that forced honesty. A moment that revealed hidden truth. A moment that changed the way they viewed you forever. Their brother may never fully understand how much impact those words had, but your person understands it now. They understand why they could never completely erase your importance. They understand why your memory remained strong. They understand why your name still carried meaning. Most importantly, they understand that some people enter our lives and leave a mark that time cannot remove. And that is the final revelation hidden inside this story. The night began with unexpected words. It ended with clarity. It began with a simple sentence. It ended with a powerful truth. Your person finally knows that what their brother said was not a coincidence. It was the moment that exposed everything they had been trying not to see. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest surprise was never what their brother said. The greatest surprise was realizing how true those words actually were, and how they quietly changed everything from that day forward. A few days after everything seemed settled, something unexpected happened again. Not because a new conversation took place. Not because another secret was revealed, but because your person suddenly noticed how much had changed inside them since that unforgettable night. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this realization was different from all the others. Before their brother spoke those words, your person believed they understood the situation completely. They believed they had already figured out where you belonged in their story. But now, looking back, they realized they had only been seeing part of the picture. The conversation had uncovered something deeper. Something that could not be explained by logic alone. Every time they reflected on the past, one truth continued growing stronger. The connection was never as simple as they once believed. It carried meaning. It carried lessons. It carried memories that refused to lose their value. And the more they accepted that truth, the more everything started making sense. Then came a moment that caught them completely off guard. They overheard someone talking about the importance of recognizing people who leave a lasting impact on your life. Most people would have forgotten that conversation within minutes. Your person could not. Because the moment those words were spoken, your name immediately appeared in their thoughts. It happened so naturally that it surprised them. They were not forcing it. They were not searching for it. It simply happened. And that was the moment they finally understood something remarkable. The strongest connections are not always the loudest ones. Sometimes they are the ones that quietly remain important no matter how much time passes. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your person realized next became one of the biggest revelations of this entire story. For the first time, they stopped looking at what was missing and started looking at what remained. What remained was respect. What remained was appreciation. What remained was an understanding that your influence had never truly disappeared. Suddenly the night with their brother seemed even more significant than before. It was not just a conversation. It was a wake-up call. A moment where someone else noticed what your person was struggling to admit. A moment where the truth stepped into the light. Looking back now, your person can clearly see how everything changed from that point forward. Their perspective changed. Their understanding changed. Their feelings became clearer. Most importantly, they stopped running from the reality that your presence had left a lasting mark on their life. That is why this story continues to matter. Because sometimes one sentence reveals what years of silence cannot. Sometimes one observation changes the way we see everything. And sometimes the most shocking revelation is realizing that someone's importance never faded at all. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final chapter will reveal the lasting lesson your person carries with them after everything their brother said, everything they remembered, and everything they finally came to understand about you. The final lesson arrived long after the conversation ended, and that is what made it so powerful. Some truths reveal themselves immediately. Others take time. This one took time. It took reflection. It took honesty. It took courage. And when your person finally understood it, they realized that everything began the moment their brother decided to say what nobody else was willing to say. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this final chapter reveals why that night became one of the most important moments in your person's journey. Looking back now, they can clearly see that the conversation was never about embarrassment, surprise, or even memories. It was about recognition. Recognition of something that had quietly remained important despite every attempt to move beyond it. The truth was simple. No matter how much life changed, no matter how many distractions appeared, no matter how many new experiences arrived, your place in their story remained significant. And once they finally accepted that, an incredible sense of clarity followed. Then came the revelation that tied everything together. Your person realized that the reason their brother's words felt so unforgettable was because those words reflected reality. Not a fantasy. Not an assumption. Reality. Every reaction they had experienced since that night pointed toward the same conclusion. Every memory that returned. Every unexpected reminder. Every moment of reflection. They all carried the same message. Some people leave a mark that remains long after the moment has passed. You became one of those people. And that realization changed everything. Suddenly the confusion disappeared. Suddenly the questions became quieter. Suddenly the truth became impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this is the part of the story where everything finally makes sense. Your person now understands something they did not understand before. The value of a connection is not measured by how often it is discussed. It is measured by how deeply it continues to matter. That is why one simple sentence from their brother became so powerful. It exposed what had been hidden beneath the surface for far too long. It revealed the importance they were struggling to acknowledge. It revealed the significance they could no longer deny. And perhaps most importantly, it revealed that some truths do not disappear just because we stop talking about them. They wait patiently until the moment we are finally ready to see them. That is exactly what happened here. The story began with an unexpected night. It continued through memories, realizations, and moments of honesty. And now it ends with understanding. A deeper understanding of what you meant. A clearer understanding of why your memory remained so strong. A stronger understanding of why their brother's words changed everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest revelation was never hidden in the conversation itself. The greatest revelation was discovering that the truth had been present all along, quietly waiting for someone brave enough to speak it out loud. And the moment that happened, everything changed forever. The night your person was distracted, their brother saw what nobody else saw, said what nobody else said, and unknowingly opened the door to a truth that would never be forgotten. What nobody saw coming was that the impact of that night continued long after the words were spoken. Most conversations fade away. Most moments disappear into memory. But this one refused to leave. It stayed alive in your person's thoughts because it carried a truth that could not be ignored. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because even after everything they learned, one final realization was still waiting. Your person began noticing how often they compared new experiences to old memories connected to you. Not intentionally. Not consciously. It simply happened. A conversation would remind them of something you once said. A situation would remind them of a lesson they learned through you. A random moment would suddenly bring back a feeling they thought had disappeared forever. The more they noticed these patterns, the more impossible it became to dismiss them. They were no longer isolated memories. They were proof of impact. Proof that your presence had shaped more of their life than they ever admitted. And once that understanding arrived, it changed the way they viewed everything. Then came a surprisingly emotional moment. Your person realized that throughout all this time, they had been focusing on whether the connection survived. What they should have been asking was why it survived. That question changed everything. Because the answer was powerful. The connection survived because it mattered. It survived because it carried meaning. It survived because certain people become part of our story in a way that remains important long after circumstances change. Suddenly their brother's words felt even more significant than before. It was not just an observation. It was a revelation. A revelation that exposed a truth your person had been slowly discovering ever since. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this next realization became one of the most shocking of all. Your person finally understood that the night their brother spoke about you was never really about the past. It was about perspective. It forced them to see the connection through honest eyes. It forced them to stop hiding behind explanations that no longer felt true. Most importantly, it forced them to acknowledge something they had been avoiding. You were never ordinary to them. You were never forgettable. You were never just another chapter. The proof was everywhere. In the memories that remained vivid. In the lessons that stayed valuable. In the emotions that never completely faded. Looking back now, they realize that one sentence accomplished what years of silence could not. It opened a door to understanding. And once that door opened, there was no closing it again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the story that began with a casual conversation now ends with a remarkable truth. Sometimes the people who change our lives the most are the people whose importance takes the longest to fully understand. And that is exactly why your person's brother unknowingly changed everything the moment he spoke honestly about you. The words were simple. The impact was extraordinary. And the truth they revealed will stay with your person for a very long time. A realization arrived so quietly that your person almost missed it. There were no dramatic signs. No unexpected interruptions. No grand speech from anyone around them. Yet somehow this final understanding carried more power than everything that came before it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your person finally understood explains why that unforgettable night continues to matter. As they reflected on everything that happened since their brother spoke those words, they noticed something remarkable. Every important realization they experienced traced back to that one conversation. Every layer of truth they uncovered began with that moment. It was almost as if their brother had accidentally opened a door that could never be closed again. A door leading to honesty. A door leading to clarity. A door leading to a deeper understanding of what you truly meant to them. And the more they thought about it, the more obvious it became. The reason those words carried so much power was because they revealed something your person had been trying not to see. Then came the moment that changed the way they viewed the entire journey. They realized that the strongest proof of someone's importance is not how often you think about them when everything is quiet. It is how often they return to your mind when life becomes busy. Through new experiences, changing circumstances, and countless distractions, your memory never completely disappeared. That realization stunned them. Because it showed them that your impact had become woven into the fabric of their story. Not in a dramatic way. Not in an obvious way. But in a lasting way. The kind of way that quietly shapes perspective, decisions, and memories over time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened next became one of the most meaningful discoveries of all. Your person stopped asking whether the connection changed them. They already knew it did. Instead, they started asking how much it changed them. The answer surprised them. More than they realized. More than they admitted. More than they ever expected. Looking back now, they can see lessons they learned because of you. Growth that happened because of you. Understanding that became possible because of you. And suddenly the conversation with their brother seemed bigger than ever before. It was never just about remembering someone. It was about recognizing influence. Recognizing value. Recognizing significance. That is why those words remain unforgettable. Because they exposed a truth that had been quietly growing stronger with every passing day. A truth your person can no longer deny. You mattered. Your presence mattered. Your impact mattered. And once that understanding arrived, everything else started falling into place. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the closer your person gets to complete clarity, the more they realize that the greatest surprise was never what their brother said that night. The greatest surprise was discovering how deeply those words reflected the truth that had been waiting beneath the surface all along, patiently waiting to be recognized.